Hey, JulesBlessedVegan, and as always, welcome to my channel. And for those of you who are new, I know you can benefit. So I'm happy to say I ate clean all day, but it was a panic attack a couple of times there. I haven't been managing my time well. I know you're shocked. I know you're shocked, okay? But it seems even worse than usual to where I'm not getting home till after 6. And granted, I drive 100 miles to work a day. But, I'm getting home late. I'm caring for everybody but myself first. I didn't have groceries. I forgot to get my sprouts and microgreens, in rhythm. So I fell behind there. And, I didn't want to compromise my food. I fast for 20 hours as it is because of my Invisalign. Sorry, I was going to sneeze. But anyway, so yeah, not having proper groceries. So then I totally went out last night and grocery shopped and did some things. And then tonight I did the rest of the grocery shopping because there's groceries for the family and then there's mine. And I was kind of tripping because I couldn't find organic celery. And then when I did find organic celery, it was like $2 for these really tiny little heads of it. So I was kind of pouting, and then I decided I'd make it really special and think of it as like a treat or a dessert. Just little things like that. It seems like when my food, which I already feel like I'm already being brave, I'm still in the brave mode of eating the way that I am. If anything goes wrong, I start to freak. And then my monkey mind comes in. No offense to coconut, because it's way more than just coconut, it's a whole tribe. But my monkey mind comes in and immediately starts saying, just for today, what if we ate this instead? Hey, that looks really good. It won't really matter. I mean, you've been doing so well. Why don't we just, a whole tribe. I had to fight you hard today, my friend. But kitchen's closed, tea bar's open. 1 point for Jules. So anyway, I'm happy to say I did stay clean, but it was very difficult. Tomorrow's another day. So anyway, I've been sharing these 20 traps that humans fall into inevitably. Doesn't matter what your walk is, doesn't matter when you're on the planet, doesn't matter who you are. Because of the human condition, you will experience several, if not all of these at some time in your walk. And so this one reads, the trap of caring too much what other people think. Caring too much what other people think. Do you fall into that trap? For me, I'll be one extreme or the other. I'll just say, whatever, I don't care what they think. Forget it. I mean, they can think whatever they want. And it's like, really? How much don't you not care for your reaction, which is totally suggesting that you do care. I think it's natural for us to wonder what other people are thinking. It allows you to measure, your own values. So it's not a terrible thing. It's really what you do with it, how long you ponder it, how much you allow it to affect you, how it changes you. Steve Jobs has a great quote. Hold on 1 second. I'm trying to think what it is. It's don't let other people's noise drown your inner voice. So all the noise and chaos that other people are presenting, don't allow that to drown out your own inner voice. And I think when we care too much about what other people think, we absolutely shut out our own inner voice. So this is brilliant. This is like one of my favorite things right here. Are you ready? There's an old saying that goes like this. You'll probably recognize it. I love it. We wouldn't worry so much about what other people think about us if we realize how seldom they do. I've gotten so much better about that these last couple of years. My good friend Tanny Robb, if you don't know her, she's on every social media platform for health. She always says that people would much rather talk about themselves than anything else. And in fact, if you're in an awkward situation or people are paying too much attention to you, if you dare to change the conversation back to them, you will find that they are all too happy to refocus on themselves and talk about themselves. So we wouldn't worry so much about what other people think about us if we realize how seldom they do. It's so humbling and true. So humbling and true. Okay, that said, and even that being true, we still tend to worry about it anyway. Guilty as charged. But though it's okay to be concerned to some degree with what other people think about us, it becomes a problem when carried too far. It can become a trap. If you find yourself being told by several people that you are a certain way, or that you have a certain problem, or that you should change a certain thing, actually they say it's worth considering. If you're hearing it from many sources, obviously not a group of mean girls, right? But just a variety of sources. Sometimes it could be what's referred to as a God wink. God is trying to get this message to you, and it's coming through many sources. It could be a person, it could be an article, it could be a road sign. Like, it's just showing up. There's a chance that's something you need to evaluate. So the reason people tell you this may be because it's a real problem that you have, but you should always consider the source before you draw any firm conclusions. Like, whenever they say follow the money trail, is because you can usually see who the sponsor is for any given item or product or situation. It's the same thing. Is that person really talking about themselves more than you and putting it on you? Are they trying to hide their own issue by, again, putting the directive on you? You really have to consider the source. There's an old saying that I've thought about many times over the year. Another old saying. And yet, if you've never heard it, it's a new saying for you. Ready? If one man calleth thee a donkey, pay him no mind. If two men calleth thee a donkey, get thee a saddle. Okay, that is awesome. One man calls you a donkey, pay him no mind. Two men call you a donkey, yeah, get yourself a saddle. Okay, that is funny. We need not be overly concerned with other people, what other people think about us, unless a lot of people think that way. And only then if it's a genuine negative or toxic trait that they're shining a light on. So again, the bottom line is always you. You can't tell someone they're an alcoholic or a drug addict. It's something they have to come to on their own. Even somebody with a food addiction, they have to come to it on their own before any healing can take place, okay? And it's the same thing. People may say something to you all day long, but you're going to have to pray about it. You're going to have to reflect on it. You're going to have to decide for you if that is something that you're willing to address or work on changing. And toxic trait is a hyperlink. In those cases, we should do some serious personal assessment and make some changes. Otherwise, caring too much what other people think about us is just another trap to avoid falling into. I agree. I'm so lucky to be a God person. Meaning, I go to God. Yes, of course I listen to people because so often it is God speaking through others, but at the end of the day, I kind of check with God, and I'm so grateful for that because I've been, on the wrong side of a witch hunt. I've had situations where whole groups have attempted to condemn me or take me down, and I very quickly realized that it's not even the people. It is just another dark force that sees my light and wants to shut it out. And that's not arrogance. That is straight up. If you're thinking, God, Jillian is pretty arrogant. She thinks she's like right up there with God. I don't ever think I'm up there with God, but I am with God, completely with God. I'm all in. He calls me to many things. He wakes me in my sleep. He brings situations to me. I mean, I'll be doing my political banter on my Facebook page, and in the chat of that, politics, okay? Someone will humbly write, I have a situation, Jules, will you pray for me? I'm like, oh my gosh. So yes, that you dared to find me in this realm, to still see me as a person of prayer, and certainly one who experiences so many miracles on behalf of others. I'm so grateful. That said, I do have prayer requests from you, though, for those of you who are prayer in the blessed part of Jules Blessed Vegan, is that people are still hurting and struggling. Oh my goodness, they are hurting and struggling. When I think of that insurrection that happened, 145 police officers were injured, 65 seriously injured. Of course, one of them dead, and 2 more committing suicide as a side effect of that experience. Some of them, with spinal injuries, broken ribs, like so many things. God bless them all, of course, 1,000 times. And even of the 5 people who died, I consider them victims too, even though technically they came to participate. I believe they were seriously misled into that. So God bless all of them. In my personal life, my sister Vanessa, even though she feels blessed, even though she's starting to stand with a walker and things, she's in so much physical pain. She doesn't even know her name. And Vanessa's had a lot of pain in her life. Oh my goodness. She used to literally break ribs when she would just be vomiting from morning sickness. Like she's had insane pain. None of it measures to this Guillain-Barré syndrome, which I'm saying wrong. But anyway, God bless Vanessa. For Michelle, the one who got kicked in the face by her horse, please, she needs so much prayer, you guys, so much. She's having mental issues, literally. Her eye is only seeing flickers of light, no clarity. I mean, all in God's time, but people are hurting. Oh my gosh, people are hurting. And if you would just take a moment and just ask for God's mercy, just simply, God's mercy be upon those who need you most. Well, you know, one of our own little people, if you've done the reset or anything else, our gay has COVID, and so does her husband, and it's really bad, you know. And this little person who wrote me on that political thing said, my mom, my sister, and myself all have COVID. Please pray. I'm all in. I'm all in. But anyway, thanks so much for listening. Thanks for checking in. Can you relate to accidentally caring too much what others think? Where I'm at right now, and I know it's not true, but it's something I want to work towards. I absolutely want to work towards, is not caring in the sense that I know that I'm provided for. So an anxiety that I'm having right now is 2 years ago, I was at a district which I was sure would be the district for the rest of my career, right? Loved it, was on 6 committees, had great rapport with everybody. The classroom setting was very challenging. I probably could have done better. I don't know. The children all grew, but academically, I don't know if I could prove it. But anyway, completely unexpected, they let me go. I believe that it was political, and even that they were letting go of some veteran teachers because they could get less expensive ones. Whatever the case was, I'll never know. It was devastating. God provided for me. By the last 11th hour and 59 minutes and 59 seconds, I got a new job. The new job is in the district I'm in now. It's 100 miles round trip a day. There are closer districts, but by all accounts, here we are again. By March 15th, they have to let me know after these 2 years that I just served whether they're going to keep me or not. And that's bringing up some anxiety for me. What I know as quickly as I have the anxiety is that no matter what, I will be provided for. That no matter what, it may simply be another chapter to serve somewhere else that God has planned for me, or indeed they will choose to keep me, for which my job is semi-secure after that. Usually the 3rd year is what's referred to as tenure, and that's spelled Tenure, not 10 years, tenure, okay? So technically, my job will be somewhat protected. So I'm praying about that. I'm going to have to see how it goes, but I can't help but have a little stress. And just like always, I have that end of the year observation coming up, right? It's like in 10 days. I wish I didn't have insecurity about that. I'm considered a master teacher, but sometimes I come from my insecure self, become a little kid in that because of criticism and because of like serious abuse I received for years from previous administration. But anyway, that's kind of where I am right now. What I would love is the confidence to actually not care. Because there's actually, that's a lot of actuallys. There's a lot of beauty in seeing a confident individual who doesn't care. Not that you're aloof, it's just you're just not overly concerned because you know you're provided for. That's the mindset I would love to walk in to both the observation and the end of the year conclusion of whether I'll stay in this district. But anyway, prayers all around for everyone in need. And I thank God to know that I am provided for, that those 6 individuals in my family did recover from COVID. Granted, they were all 32 and under, but it hit them hard. One of them still doesn't have taste or smell, but we imagine it's coming. And my husband and I both have a job, and I'm grateful to no end. But fluke of all time, like this is how it goes. He was on his way home in his work truck on the freeway, and all of a sudden the back windshield just exploded. It just absolutely sounded like a bullet. He swerved lanes. He thought he got shot. He didn't know, and his entire back window was just shattered. Why? Why, pray tell? Just one more thing? Well, God will provide. He always says we often don't have extra, but we always have enough. I'll have to rejoice in that. Okay, like if you like, donuts if you haven't subscribed. Let me know in the comments below how I may support you. And until we talk again, best of all, my friends, we're still here, we're still breathing, and we're blessed.